23 facts about Martin Luther King Jr. Number 1. Martin Luther King Jr.'s original name was Michael Luther King Jr. Number 2. Martin Luther King Jr. added the "I have a dream" line during his speech. It was improvised. Number 3. Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr. and Barbara Walters were all born in the same year. Number 4. In 1964, the FBI mailed Martin Luther King Jr. a letter accusing him of extramarital affairs and suggesting he should commit suicide. Number 5. Martin Luther King Jr. plagiarized a significant portion of his doctoral dissertation from one written by another student 3 years earlier. Number 6. Martin Luther King Jr. had previously used his dream rhetoric many times before his famous speech and other lesser-known speeches. Number 7. Martin Luther King Jr. was jailed 29 times. Number 8. Martin Luther King Jr. was the youngest person to win the Nobel Peace Prize until Malala won it in 2014. Number 9. Martin Luther King Jr. is a Grammy Award winner for Best Spoken Word Album. Number 10. Martin Luther King Jr.'s last public speech foretold his death. Number 11. Martin Luther King Jr. required hours of delicate surgery to remove a steel letter opener from his chest in 1958. Number 12. When notified of his selection for the Nobel, Martin Luther King Jr. announced he would turn over the prize money to the furtherance of the civil rights movement. Number 13. Over 900 streets in the United States are named after Martin Luther King Jr. Number 14. Martin Luther King Jr. received a C+ in public speaking at seminary school. Number 15. Martin Luther King Jr. was a huge Star Trek fan. Number 16. Martin Luther King Jr.'s family doesn't believe James Earl Ray killed him. Instead, they say it was the owner of the restaurant where he was killed, with the mafia and the U.S. government involved. Number 17. The bullet that wounded Martin Luther King Jr. entered through his right cheek, smashing his jaw, then traveled down his spinal cord before lodging in his shoulder. Number 18. Martin Luther King Jr. long opposed American involvement in the Vietnam War. Number 19. Martin Luther King Jr. had Irish ancestry through his paternal great-grandfather. Number 20. Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother was also slain by a bullet. Number 21. Martin Luther King Jr. is the only American citizen, non-president, to have a U.S. national holiday in his honor. Number 22. Martin Luther King Jr. spent his wedding night in a funeral home, since there were no honeymoon suites for African Americans. Number 23. After the assassination of JFK in 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. said to his wife, "This is what is going to happen to me also. I keep telling you, this is a sick society."
And that's it for today. If you liked this video, please take some time to tap on like button and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon for more videos like this. And also check out our popular videos that are visible on your screen. Meet you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.